Hey guys, this is Donald with thejapanguy.com, and this is Japan Talk, Session 7. In our last discussion, Japan Talk Session 6, we talked about the sexless marriage and reasons that a marriage might become sexless. But naked sex. You remember? Yeah? Good? You know what I've recently realized? I just came to the sobering realization that I have been in Japan for 7 long years. See what I did? Like, so Japan Talk Session 7 years. You see how you're not feeling it? Okay, we'll keep going. Even though I've been here for 7 years, it is completely by choice. I wouldn't have stayed this long if I didn't like it in some way, shape, or form. I like being in Japan. I think it's a great place to live. Today's question goes out to all you long-termers here in Japan. If you've been here a year or longer, let's consider that long-term, okay? And my question is, what are the 5 things that you miss most having lived in Japan this long? The 5 things you miss most from home. Okay, let me sprinkle a little extra on that question for those of you who may not live in Japan, because I want you to get into the conversation as well. So, if you don't live here long term, what are the 5 things that you think you would miss most if you were living in Japan long term, or if you lived overseas long term? Oh, I've got plenty of things that I miss. So many things. So let's just start off with my little small list here. Without a doubt, the one that tops the list for me is family, friends, and their life events. What's the best way to show your support to somebody? By being there. So whether it's a birthday, a holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that stuff, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a funeral, with all those things, you want to be there. But the thing that gets under my skin is having to always send a message, an email or a letter to show your support. And sometimes you want to say something that's really profound, but it ends up sounding more like a bad Hallmark card. Wishing you all of the resplendence of marital bliss. Yours truly, Donald. Wishing you a cheat-free, guilt-free marriage. Sincerely, Donald. Enter. But just being able to see your family, chat with them, kiss them, hug them, to not have to talk to them over Skype all the time, that's a big thing for me. And that's your family. That's where you come from. I miss sweets. All the sweets that God ever intended to be made. And some of the ones he didn't. But the Lord God warned him, "You may freely eat of the sweet sugary goodness of any candy bar in the store, except for the Snickers of peanut butter and evil. For the day that thou shalt eatest of it, you are sure to die." If you don't know, I'm telling you now, Donald is a sweet tooth. I wouldn't have snack snippets if I wasn't. Shameless plug. Check out the Japan Guy's amazing snack snippets at thejapanguy.com and the Japan Guy YouTube channel. Thank you. My mom's cakes and pies are the bomb. Red velvet cake and carrot cake all day, baby. I miss my king-size candy bars. You know, now it is kind of a mixed thing. Being here, I don't eat as much junk food, so I try to reserve it to limit it to a cheat day. But in the US, I mean, you know, it's my body. Let me do what I want with it. Gyms and supplements. This is another one because back home, all of that stuff is cheaper. So when I went to the gym back home, my membership was like $30 with my teacher's discount, like $36 or $37 without it. Supplements, I could get, if I ordered over a certain limit, shipping was free. Bodybuilding.com. Here in Japan though, like my current gym membership, which is not 24 hours like it was back home, cost me 8,500 yen a month. And when it was 100 yen to $1, that's like 85 bucks a month for a non-24 hour gym membership. Supplements. Now I can get the same supplements for the most part. Like I don't get anything crazy, so there are no real restrictions on the things I can get because I usually just get whey protein for the most part, maybe some glutamine. But when I order from bodybuilding.com, the shipping is a killer. Like my last order, shipping alone was 7,500 yen. You know how many more supplements you can buy with that? Probably one of the biggest ones I can put on here is being able to say what I think without having to, you know, think about grammar or anything like that. Just to be able to speak freely. That is a huge one. And I'm still practicing Japanese, but I can't say everything that I think. You ever try to get angry in Japanese? Sometimes it just sounds silly. You don't want to be like the village idiot trying to get mad.
Nandayo. Okundayo.
I miss American style comedy. I miss that American sense of humor because it's so different. I know part of it is because I don't fully understand everything that's being said in these jokes, and also I'm not fully immersed in Japanese pop culture. Like if you grew up here, you know all of the references, and that's a big part of comedy too. But I'm a big fan of stand-up. Like I remember watching Eddie Murphy's Delirious, or like Dave Chappelle's For What It's Worth, Donald Glover's Weirdo, hilarious. Let me try to reference one of those comedians' jokes with one of my Japanese friends here. And then he said, "That's why your mom's in a fucking wheelchair." Sheen. Okay guys, we're gonna wrap this one up for today. I could go on forever, but I'm just gonna turn this question over to you. So what are the 5 things you miss most if you've been living in Japan long term, a year or longer? And if you don't live in Japan, what are the things that you think, the 5 things you think you would miss? Thank you so much for watching, and guys, you can be as creative as you want with these. You can add videos, pictures, memes, jokes, whatever, but just make sure that you list your 5. I really want to hear them. This is Donald with thejapanguy.com, and I will see you in the next Japan Talk. Bye. There, whether it's a birthday, your kid's friend's being born, hoping that your son doesn't come out with an eyeball on his forehead. Hope you and your wife get it on really hard tonight. Donald. Hoping that you and your wife fulfill every nasty, erotic desire possible. Your friend, Donald. Enter. If your wife wasn't such a skank, she would have been mine. Wishing you all the best, Donald. Delete, 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 delete. I like how Milky Way bars in the US have caramel in them. It's not a Three Musketeers bar that's just thrown into a Milky Way wrapper that just has the nougat inside. You didn't fool me, Mars. Here's of peanut butter and evil. For the day that thou shalt do that, thou shalt surely